Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to assemble a model kit, and I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego to the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, then you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. And if you feel like being a lurker and you don't want to say anything at all, then you can just go ahead and lurk. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Happy to have you here. Hey. I'm in a room that I don't normally record in or stream from. That's right. I made the big move here for the next month or so, 30 days or so. I am in this room, which obviously to you doesn't look different, but to me is different. It's a different space. I can hear. Hopefully you can't. But I can hear the echo because there's a taller ceiling in here and it's not a confined space. It is a large bonus room on the house. You might hear a little bit of a difference, to which I say, sorry. Oops, pardon me. Because there's nothing I can really do about that. I did move a thing so that I have a little bit, the sound kind of a little bit reflects a little quicker than going too far and coming back. So that theoretically will help things. But yeah, I'm here in this room. I'm excited to be here. I look forward to being here for a while. It's a little colder than I would like, but that's just because it's cold around here. One of the hidden benefits, and then also in the summertime, a curse of the small bedroom that I live out of generally is that all of the heat this computer kicks out keeps that room a comfortable temperature for like this time of year, but of course in the summer I'm paying for it. So, right now it's a little cooler in here because with all the gear, but in 2 hours it might not be. It might warm up a bit. Yeah, I moved everything in yesterday. Let's go to the overhead camera. We are currently working on the Gundam EZSR high grade. We have the chest done, we have the arms done, we have the legs, we have to panel line this leg, but otherwise that's done. And then we are going to body complete this kit up except for the head and then accessories. And then we're going to build all the variants of it to see which one I want to really go with. There are 3 variants for this kit. But we'll build the weapon. Of course, we got the various weapons and things. But yeah, there are variants on this one, and we'll have to decide if we want to go with the Intruder or the Eliminator or the Shadow Phantom. Good names. Very good names for these. So yeah, I don't know which one I'm going to do, but I do have options. But I know that first thing we're going to do is finish it with some panel lining. And I'll talk a little bit about what's going on here with me. So yeah, my folks, I'm going to use black for this here. My folks did head to Florida yesterday, or they're on their way. They got there today. They took their time, which is good for them. And I moved all my stuff in here. I've got my computer desk, the table, and various other odds and ends, all my gear. I moved all of the, my backlog is now on the couch that is behind me, basically. I got the lighting set up the way I want it. Look, things will get adjusted here and there as we go, of course. I'm still getting settled. I think I like where the camera is. So you might think, well, Pat, you really wouldn't have to move your camera too much stuff around, between rooms, but I have carpeting in the bedroom and tile here. So technically, my chair sits a little differently and the table sits a little differently. So I did have to adjust my camera a little bit. I won't have to adjust much when I go back. I'll play around with lighting. I haven't done white balance. I haven't white balanced. I'll do that tomorrow night in this space, the similar lighting, and do that then. But I do need the white balance with my overhead camera. I didn't get a chance to do that before because I recorded a Pat Bear's Anime Club last night while I was in here and getting things ready. So I do need to play around with that. I'll play around with a few things here and there. I probably won't touch sound, as I said. I think I'm going to keep sound the same, even if it's a little more echoey here. Especially if I get loud, it probably becomes more echoey as my gate gets affected. But overall, it's not a big enough problem for me to really want to retool anything, since I'm only in here for a month. Pardon me. The hope would be that the only difference you notice is that my connection should be pretty stable. I should be, because, I don't drop frames anymore because I'm using the setting where my kilobits get, like decrease instead of frames dropping. So theoretically, this will be a more stable connection. Even if my upload speed isn't any better between wireless and wired, because it's the maximum that we pay for on this internet, it should be a more stable connection because it is not a wireless signal that is being boosted via a signal booster. It is just, my router is right next to my table, and the modem is right next to the table, and the cable out of the wall is right next to this table. So it's all right there. Which is awesome. It's very cool. Makes me very happy. And then last night, I did what I normally do when I move my gear out of the bedroom. Around 1 a.m., I went in there, and then I turned on the Chromecast, which I have. I have a Chromecast plugged into a TV that I never use because I have the computer, right? I just watch stuff on the computer. So then I synced it up with my phone, and then watched some YouTube videos and checked my phone for some stuff and just kind of chilled out there. I read some manga on my iPad, which I'm going to try to keep my iPad in my bedroom and not bring it out here so that I just read stuff, when I want to. I'll just go into the bed and read there. And yeah, it's really nice for that space to be the place where I sleep and occasionally do a few things here and there, but mostly just sleep in there. And then I've moved all my gear out here, and it's nice. I don't know. I'm pleased with it so far. Like I said, there's still some minor things I can do, tweaks here and there that I'll probably end up doing. I theoretically could increase the kilobits that are being that are being used here if I wanted to, make the image a little better out to you. But I'm probably not going to do that. So, because I do know that sometimes it's some folks drop down to 720p for my streams just because it's more consistent. But hopefully the 1080 will be good. I'll tell you this. It doesn't really affect you that my download speed is better, but it kind of does. So I'll give you an example of why, or a reason why me being out here having a better download affects you is the simple reason that it makes me happy, and that should lead to a more productive streaming because, oh boy, fast downloads, forget it. Stable, quick downloads, are you kidding me? Shit rules. It's just so fucking cool. For real. Let me adjust this here. That's fine. It's so great to just be boom, and then download some files really fast because my download speed is over 4 times, over 4 times as fast of a download. Going from boosted wireless to wired is so much faster. I'm downloaded so many torrents. No, but I do have better download speeds, and I was backing some files up and pulling them down from the cloud, and it was just so nice to do. Oh, so lovely. It was just so nice. All right, let's start working on the waist. We got the legs done, and then we can start getting, mostly body complete, and then we'll start building the versions of it, the variations, and decide which one we're going to go with. We also have to build the backpack, so, we have things to do. I will do a poll on tomorrow for my $10 patrons. The first poll of February will be tomorrow, and they'll be able to decide what I start working on Monday, because I might be done with this by tonight, or I might be good to go on Monday, but definitely on Monday. We'll see how things go. Okay, so we need C1, 19. So we'll get that here. Great. Let's see. Other things I can talk to you about. It snowed a little bit here in South Carolina. Now, I'm going to say it did not snow a lot. It was not a noticeable amount of snow. We had that like last year. Overnight, it could increase the amount of snow that we've had. But right now, it was like, oh, I guess it snowed. It's mostly just kind of cold. And I do have to get used to the fact that this room is colder than the room I was in. I do need to get used to that. Like the tile floor is cold. I've been thinking maybe I'll wear like an old pair of sneakers around instead of just my socks because it's a little chilly. I do have a towel down, so my feet are resting on that instead of being on the cold tile all the time. I learned that after the first year of being out here in this time of year, and it's colder now than it was then. So, but yeah, there's a little bit of snow out there. It barely stuck. It was not something that was like super duper noticeable. But it is noteworthy to say, like, oh yeah, we did a little snow. Let's see, other things. So if you follow me on Blue Sky, I don't do this on Mastodon. I just do it on Blue Sky because I think it's easier to just do it in one place. But I have begun chronicling all of the meals that I make for myself. That is, originally it was to like get better at photography. It turns out where I'm at as far as photography goes, like I'm never getting better at. I don't think my food photos never look particularly. Sometimes they look good, but most of the time they don't. And I don't know. Really, I do it to keep track. Like it's a little interactive thing. It helps me keep track of the days, but it also maybe inspires some people to try a recipe out or to try something they haven't had in a while or ever before. And it also encourages me to try things that I haven't done before. And then hopefully I'm also like keeping track of what I eat, and so that I don't just start eating the same things all the time, because I will do that. Like I have like 8 chicken thighs in the freezer, and I know I'm going to use 4 of them for a recipe. But what if instead of using that recipe, I just eat them for 4 days in a row? Like I wouldn't get sick of that. But for variety's sake, I shouldn't. I had chicken tonight, little chicken fillets, and they were very good. So I shouldn't have chicken tomorrow. Now I could, but I shouldn't, right? Like I should be better about that. And one of the ways that I can be better about that is by keeping track of what I'm consuming, and having that and being able to like scroll through is really nice, because I'd be like, oh, it's like, well, I did a burgers yesterday and I'm going to do ground beef tomorrow, but it's not burgers, and it's going to be served very differently. And that feels okay to do that 2 days in a row. And, okay, well, I'm going to do pork one day and I could probably do sausage the next day, because it's very, it's the same thing, but it feels different. And, it's been like 3 weeks since I bought a ham steak. Let me see if I can like pick up a ham steak this week if it's on sale. Or, I'm at, I'm ordering online, right? I'm getting some stuff, food delivered, and I'll look through what's available and see if there's anything on sale. And I'll go, looking back, scrolling through the photos I've taken, like, yeah, I haven't done burgers in a while. Let me scroll and see, like, oh, okay. Or, yeah, I have mac and, like my milk's going to go bad in a week. And I have mac and cheese box, like, let me find something to go with that so I can spruce it up and whatever. Like, oh, okay, I'll open up this. I haven't had peas in a while, that kind of thing. It's just to me, it is beneficial. It allows me to kind of like hopefully mix it up and a wide variety of things. Or like, oh, I haven't had a salad in a week. I let the lettuce go bad. I got to buy more lettuce, that kind of thing. It's little things like that. I never did that when I lived alone, or when I had roommates and didn't live in this house. I just bought food and ate it. But also, I didn't have dinner at home that often. I was out a lot. I made food for work which often was the same thing. And then I'd be like, all right, well, I meal prepped 3 of these meals. And so I'm going to, every other day I'll bring a meal in, and then the next day I'll order dinner. Like, and I'm like, oh, well, let's see, I did pizza, so I'm going to do Chinese food, or I'm going to get tacos or whatever. Which reminds me, I got tortilla shells, a small tortilla shell that I'm going to have to, I've got to make some tacos at some point. I got in the freezer, I found a portion of of sausage that is not like sweet Italian, it is just pork sausage. And I was like, ooh, I could spice that up with like with some seasoning and make it like not actually chorizo, but chorizo style. And I got shredded cheese, and it's like, oh, I could do that, and like, yeah, I'll do that, and then make some tacos at some point, you know, that kind of thing. I'm like planning ahead on a few things. I said, I've got recipes, y'all. I got some recipes that I'm going to try out, and I am excited to try those out soon. Literally tomorrow, I will be making something I have never made before. I saw a recipe for Japanese style, like Japanese inspired curry, but it uses ground beef. And I'm like, that sounds really fucking good over rice. Like, I bet that's really going to be sticking to my ribs. Because my local grocery store, I was there a couple weeks ago with my folks, and we were walking down the aisle for the Mexican and Asian aisle are one aisle. And so we were walking down that aisle, and I saw medium, which is like the least spicy Japanese curry, like medium spice curry blocks. And I was like, all right, I'm going to buy this sight unseen. I'm not going to look up any recipes yet. I'll do that later because I've got good feeling about this. And so then I looked at a couple of recipes, and I saw this one that uses ground beef, and it's like ground beef, onions. I think let me look at the recipe. I've got it written down here. Japanese ground beef, or Japanese inspired ground beef curry. Sorry. Ground beef, onions, a curry cube, garlic powder, a dashi powder, which I'm not going to use. I think it's okay. Milk, and then then I'm going to taste it and then decide if I want to add for sweetness a little bit of ketchup, which I have not decided if I'm going to do that or not. And then also you can add water if it's too thick. And then I'm going to put that over rice. And we do have bonito flakes in the house, so I'm going to do that too. And I'm excited about that. Yeah, I decided to skip the dashi powder, which maybe will affect the flavor, but I honestly think that the curry cube is going to do enough. Hello, Lysandus. So yeah, I'm excited. I have never, like, obviously this is a cheat curry. I'm not putting chocolate in it, which a lot of people do, to add in that kind of like, that sweetness. They'll use chocolate in their curry. Is this going to be award-winning traditional curry? No, like I said, I'm doing it with fucking ground beef. Lashrick says, I got to say, I've gone up in heat in curry blocks and haven't noticed much of a difference. Yeah, I have also heard that as well, that you can just like, if you're diluting it, if you're making a thinner curry, you don't have to worry about what heat you're putting in there. But like, I don't know, I'm starting off with this. So, and if I really miss the heat, I can add in some like chili flakes, you know, to kind of increase the heat a bit. But I'm excited. I've never made curry before, and I'm excited to try that out. I have that recipe. I have now they want boneless chicken thighs, which I have bone-in chicken thighs, so I'm gonna like take the bones out to do it, which is fine. But there's a recipe for bourbonless chicken. or you could put in quotation marks bourbon chicken. That is another recipe that I am. Let me see. I've got that recipe written down. That's another one that I'm going to be trying out. Basically, I don't drink, so buying bourbon just to make bourbon chicken, that doesn't appeal to me. There are variations you can use. You can use chicken stock instead. You could use apple cider or apple juice. I am going to be using apple juice and a dash of apple cider, apple cooking cider, just to, like the vinegar, like too much vinegar, and that would be terrible. But a little bit will add a kick to it. So that is instead of that, but it's just like boneless chicken thighs in the crock pot, and then apple juice, brown sugar, soy sauce, and garlic. And then you just cook it low and slow. I'm doing 3.5 hours, and then adding a little bit of a cornstarch slurry to kind of like thicken it up. The last time I did a recipe that used the cornstarch slurry, I used too much cornstarch and it made it too thick. And then when I froze the leftovers, it thawed weird. And I believe that was the cornstarch. So I got to do less of that because there will be leftovers because it's 4 chicken thighs in there. So I'm not going to eat all of that at once. I don't know when I'm going to do that recipe, but it will be soon. And that'll also be over rice. And I think for the curry, I'm going to just do white rice. And for the bourbon chicken, I am going to fry up the rice later and put it over fried rice, because I think chicken over fried rice that's just superior. So yeah, I'm playing around with a few things. We'll see how that goes. But I am excited to try some of these new recipes out and see how they go. Let's see. I need C20, and then we can body complete this kit and then work on the backpack and all that. But yeah, I am happy to have a few new recipes, and maybe I won't love it. Maybe I'll wish. And I could also search for a different curry recipe if I didn't like this and I want to do something else. I really want to do all of, go through the steps and do something more involved. I'll have the cubes, so I'll be able to play around with it if I really want to. But I think the recipe looks good. Got some plans. I don't know when, but I'll probably at some point also just get Domino's. I'll probably do the Domino's deal. My neighbor, who is good friends with my folks, his son will be in town towards the end of February, and often he'll call me and he'll go like, "All right, where do you want to go?" And so maybe we'll do a bunch of things. We'll do some things, and then that'll end with us stopping at honestly, if you're gonna go to Domino's, you want to do the pickup. The pickup stuff is the best deals. So I might just get a bunch of dumb stuff towards the end of February and just go have a little bit of a good goofy time with some dumb shit like that. Who knows? Maybe I won't. Oh, I forgot to mention this. This polycap that I lost on Thursday, I found it. I found it when I was taking apart my computer on Thursday night after the stream. So I don't need this because there was an extra, but I did find the thing that lost. And I would not have found it during the stream. It had bounced far back under my desk. So it would have been frustrating to find. He says as he drops a polycap, but it doesn't bounce to the floor. So finding polycaps and pieces on this floor should be easier because it's white tile, but things could bounce and scatter easier because it's tile, not carpet. So it is a double-edged sword with this. We'll see. Hopefully everything will be fucking cool. And this goes in like that. Great. Here's the body of our kit. Obviously, there's not a piece here because it's different between the versions, so we haven't done it yet. But now we can work on the backpack, which is F1, 17, 16, and 8. This one part here. Oh, this is G. Sorry. Pulling the wrong pieces out. It's this part's the backpack. F. 17, 8, and 16. Yeah, so I'm excited about the food stuff. I don't know. Like, I always get a little sad. Yesterday was very basic. We had a different brand of French fries than I normally have, and I kind of burnt them a little bit because they were in there too long, which is like, that's no problem. Oh, you know what? Hey, here's an update that I didn't say on Thursday. I forgot to update y'all. We got the fucking microwave. This goddamn microwave that they pushed the delivery on us a week and didn't tell us. The delivery window was originally 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then they called the night before and they were like 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and we were like, okay, that is a smaller window. You're right. Okay. They came at like 8:45. It was awesome. Installed it. It's working fine. I have used it once because turns out I don't actually use the microwave that often. Now that I haven't, I'm like got better at like taking things out to defrost them instead of using that. So I just haven't really used it for anything. Today I like defrosted something. So like, okay, great. There we go. But it's good that it's there. And also it got delivered before my folks left. So that was nice. My dad bought microwave popcorn just for the new microwave, which I find to be very endearing, that he was like, oh, I want to do something, and there's a good test in the microwave. And I was like, okay. And then he didn't take any bags to Florida. They have a microwave there. He just didn't take it. I was like, oh, okay. So score. I'll make some popcorn at some point. I don't know when, but I will. Let's see. Anything else going on with me? I watched some wrestling last night. I was disappointed with the results of the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling's. They were having a tag tournament, and neither team that I wanted to move on in their semifinal matches won. And so a team that doesn't have a tag team name because they got made for the tournament, and the current champions who don't need to be in the tag tournament where the winning team also gets a title shot. So it's like, why are you even in there? I described it as, oops, did I put this on wrong? I did put this on backwards, so I had to fix that. I described the results as the least interesting results because either this brand new team that doesn't have a team name wins and they beat the tag champs, which means that then we're going to see that match twice, or the tag champs win the tournament and then someone else faces them. And it's just like, either of those outcomes I don't think is good. It's like, I don't know. You know what? Somebody who's in their third year of wrestling having a tag title, chance is good, but like, the alternatives I think were just so much stronger. They could have had former champions in the finals of the tournament. They could have had a reliable team where one member was a tag champ previously. Like, just kind of frustrating. All right, so I put this on wrong. It goes on like this. No, wait. Yeah. Oh, I think I put this part on wrong too. Jesus. Pat. Let me disassemble all of this because I think I just did it wrong. We got plenty of time, but a little frustrated with myself on that. All right, so this piece goes here. This goes like this. This goes like this here. Let me double check. Yes, that's right. That's right. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is now correct. This is now correct. And then this goes here. So then that is how that's supposed to look. Great. And then this goes here. Okay, I fixed it. I fixed my goof. And then we put on the boosters. Sure, here. Not a lot of gaming news since Thursday's stream. You know that we do come across some stuff here and there, but not a lot. Let's see. Honestly, I think the biggest gaming story of the weekend was that Jeffrey Epstein was banned from Xbox Live. So on Friday, Xbox Era spotted an email from the December 2013 sent from Microsoft and Xbox Live to an email address used by Epstein. And the email was letting the then alive guy obviously know that his Xbox account had been banned permanently due to harassment, threats, and or abuse of other players. So that's just Turns out he wasn't on there harassing people with a headset. That is just one of the things that they could click on when they ban someone. Apparently, he was banned because he was a registered sex offender. And so registered sex offenders don't get to be on Xbox Live, which I think is a great policy, actually. Xbox works with law enforcement to keep folks like that off gaming, off the network. He had been a registered sex offender for years, but he didn't create an Xbox account until October 2012. And apparently, they had been working with state officials in various states of the union to make sure that there had been some sort of flare up where it was just like, hey, we should try to fix this shit. We got to get some of these folks off this service, way more of them. Which again, yes. So that I fully believe was the big news story of the weekend here. Apparently, he also, if you search through the files that have been sent out, that have been released, he asked about the Xbox. He was asking about the Kinect in 2014, and at some point in 2019, someone used his charged $25 on Xbox, and he was confused about that. But that's just like, I don't know. There are a bunch of those stories out there as people start searching for terms and names and email addresses. Bobby Kotick's name shows up at one point. A former WWE wrestler, her name shows up because she did some work, not for Epstein directly, but for partners of his, before she got out of there. And there were affidavits saying that, alluding to a lot of that stuff that she had witnessed that she was not cool with, who was no longer with us. So yeah, there's some stuff there. It's fucked. But that, well, like I said, I mean, like, that was the big story that had anything to do with gaming. There's a small story, an update about one of the biggest flops of 2025. We can talk a little bit more shit about Mind's Eye. Now, you may remember that Mind's Eye was published by IO Interactive. But Insider Gaming has a report out there saying that there was a planned crossover where there was going to be Hitman content within Mind's Eye because, you know, the publishee relationship, they were going to do a crossover thing. That was like a much hyped thing coming to the game. According to Insider Gaming, that's no longer happening, and they have decided to just kind of like go their separate ways, and there will not be a crossover anymore. I believe at the time of this article being published on Kotaku, there has not been a comment from either. The Hitman mission of upcoming content has been canceled. Let's see. Bill the Rocket Boy was apparently the one pushing to end the partnership. Because apparently, so this is again according to this story from Insider Gaming, that they're the ones that were like looking to end the partnership because they want to self-publish in the future, which is just like, sure, guy, okay, all right, yeah, all right, yeah. That little bit of content that would have brought more eyes to your bad game, like the biggest thing going for your game. Like, yeah, you don't want that. You don't want a studio that people like to be publishing. Yeah, do self-publish. That'll solve all your problems. Sure. The Hitman mission was announced at Summer Game Fest in 2025, but later delayed amid layoffs. Let's see that out there. And here's the thing I didn't know, because I don't follow these streamers. Did you know that Mind's Eye was still, as of like a couple weeks ago, they were Build a Rocket Boy was still paying for streamers to do streams of the game. Like they were trying again in 2026. Like they were still trying to make it work, which just seems like, what? Like what? You don't. What? Don't spend that money. What? Like, take that money, I guess. Like, you do you, but what? I don't know. I don't know. Kriken recently uploaded a sponsored video of their Mind's Eye playthrough on the 14th. And then there is a comment on this uploaded video that says, they're still sponsoring. I'm impressed that the company wants to keep this game alive. 7 concurrent players on Steam, by the way. Which obviously it's not, you know, online and whatever, but still. But yeah, there are YouTubers. There I guess they're not doing it on Twitch, but there are YouTubers here have sponsored to play the game in the last month, because there was a patch that came out on December. Apparently there was a patch on December 18th, so. According to Blue Thunder Gaming, the PR team that reached out with the sponsorship even agreed up front to let creators say whatever they want about the game. Which is like, oh, they just want SEO, I guess? I don't know what the fuck they want. That's crazy. Yeah, nobody knows why. It's just weird. It's just a weird thing, folks. That's all it is. I don't have much else to say about it. It was a weird thing to see anyone playing Mind's Eye and I guess being paid to do so. I don't know. What a weird thing. Sometimes on Saturday, folks, y'all are quiet in chat, which is okay. And sometimes I have things going on, but this particular weekend, like, I spent most of yesterday getting my stuff moved in here and then set up and then tweaking things, and then I recorded a video. And then I was just watching some wrestling in the evening. So I didn't really do much. I did not watch the Royal Rumble, which happened this afternoon. Did not watch it. This is the first time I have missed a Royal Rumble since I started being able to afford pay-per-views. Even when I wasn't watching wrestling, I would still watch the Royal Rumble. And it's weird not to watch it, but I won't watch it because it was in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And I am not interested in any events that take place in that country of any way, shape, or form. So I didn't see it today, which again is weird for me because even though I am checked out of WWE, I don't watch it. I'm not going to watch WrestleMania. I'm done with them. I still, when I was out of wrestling completely, I was still watching the Rumble because it's my favorite fucking wrestling thing. I love the Royal Rumble. I heard they were both mid. Roman Reigns won, which is like the least interesting option of the 30 people in that Rumble. Roman Reigns is the least interesting to me. So it's like, okay. It was surprising to get Twitch ads for the Rumble this week. Yeah, I mean, they still want people to watch it. They're ramping up talking about the game for this year, the WWE 2K26. So it makes sense to kind of do Twitch ads and all that. They want people to watch it. Again, I have no interest myself in anything they're doing these days, but all right, so it's now time to decide. I think we're going to build all three, and then I'm going to decide which one I want to keep it as. So maybe, I don't know, because I do want to just, because we're going to, as it says, we can build it. We can build custom. We're going to build custom, everybody. I think we will finish this tonight. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll have to do one of them on Monday, but so yeah, I don't know which one I want to do first. Maybe we'll do, this is I think this one is the, they have the names. Where'd the names go? There's the Intruder. There is the Eliminator, and there is the Shadow Phantom. Let's build the Shadow Phantom first, because that one's the one I think is the most interesting looking. It's probably not the one I'm going to keep this as, but we'll build it. We'll build the Shadow Phantom first because it's got the best name, I think. Intruder is the weirdest name, and Eliminator's fine, but yeah, this one's got the weird big backpack thing, the weird extra backpack, I should say. It's got like a backpack that goes over the backpack, and then can tilt up. And I'm like, all right, that's weird. So you just don't think you've gotten ads for it before? Yeah, I mean, it's probably you could imagine ESPN might be going in on ad buys for stuff because, it was on there and it was internationally on Netflix. So maybe there was some money that exchanged hands. Maybe they were worried that this Royal Rumble would have less people checking it out because of being on ESPN here in the States, or because of it being in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and perhaps some people being like, obviously plenty of people watched it. I'm not going to say people didn't watch it. I was not one of them. I will be watching some AEW, the replay tonight. I always try to watch the replays because I like I like watching AEW, and I used to watch like the first hour, and then I would watch the first hour again, and I was like, why am I doing this? I'm just going to watch it all after. Or I'd watch like the second hour later, but I'm like, I just like watching it all together. Okay, so we need E30, E31, and then I need G20. And then this is going to have a lot of stickers on it, which is okay. Oops. My sprucer right here. Oh yeah, I mean, I guess we'll mention this. Catherine O'Hara passed away, and she's a phenomenal actress. Just an unbelievable comedic mind and talent. Obviously, like so many good things. You probably know her from Schitt's Creek. I am old, so I know her from SCTV reruns. She was just phenomenally talented. She is the mom in Home Alone, if that helps you. She was in one episode of the season of Kids in the Hall that they made for Amazon Prime like 2 or 3 years ago. That's pretty fucking good. And that was neat to see her show up in that. That was a fun bit of business when she showed up in that. Just a phenomenal talent, and she will be greatly missed. Just so fucking funny and cool. All right, so I need 5. Sticker 5. This is 1 and 4 and 5. No, what? Why is that saying 5, but there's eye stickers? Is that? Do the let me do the translate here. I want to see what this says. Camera. Seal. Okay, it just says seal, which just means the sticker sheet. But sticker 5 is just this. That can't be right. Because this is just a face. This is just a face. So is it? Oh, this sticker goes on. It's not an eye sticker because of the way this goes in, because it's a visor. It's not an eye sticker. It's a beard sticker. It's a chin sticker, I should say. That makes so much more fucking sense. I was so goddamn confused about like, what? Why do I? What's that one? I was very confused. Sorry. Do. And just looking at these numbers here. Oops, that's not. Sorry, it's just shiny and my eyes can't really read it. There we go. Yeah, that shininess really just bad for my eyes. Okay, so that's 6, that's 4. This is 5. It's a full face sticker. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. This is sticker 5. Okay. This makes sense. So it's just going to go like here. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. We are working on the various heads and bodies here of the various kits because you have options. Because this was the idea was this was a team in Build Fighters Try, and they all use the same variation of the Easy 8, the Easy SR. And so then they just did variations of that and then threw on their own adaptations of it. So these are all just variations of the same kit. And it's neat that obviously they could have sold 3 different SRs instead, that you could just buy it 3 times if you really wanted to. And just have all 3. Or you can just mix and match and kit bash, which is kind of neat. And there are some pieces left. There will be pieces left on here of the Easy 8. So if you wanted to like make a variation of the Easy 8, you could do that. So there will be some extra parts for the kit bashing, if that's what you're up to. All right, and then I got to put more stickers on here. I need to do 5 or 6 and 11 and 7. So let's see if we can get all these stickers done before the pause for the cause. 6 is this one. That's easy. Then we'll use the here. So yeah, I'll be playing around with lighting a little bit. I think my camera is in a good spot. The overhead camera is in a good spot. I think this camera is in a good spot. But I can move around my 2 lamps and kind of adjust that. Like I might want to pull this a little closer. Like, oh, they made the terrible noise on the tile. But I might pull that, and that might affect how things look here. So I'm going to play around with the lamps. And then also tomorrow night, because I didn't have time to do it, I will do my overhead camera. I will do a white balance. Like I'll kind of figure out where I want these lamps and then do a white balance in proper evening conditions. And then it'll look good for that. And will that affect the afternoon stream? Possibly. Reminder while we're talking here, while I'm doing some stickers, that I have a subathon a week from yesterday. So that's this coming Friday, February 6th. No stream next Saturday because of the subathon the day before. I would encourage you to come here starting at 3:30 p.m. I'll be running probably till like 8, maybe 7:30. I don't want to say exactly when I'll be done, but it'll be a nice should be a good length of time of me hanging out here and doing things. Let's see here. I can't read these numbers, so oh no, that's 7 is down there and 11 is here. Okay, let's see. I got to put green sticker on here. Green sticker 11 is a tiny one. I think it's this one here. That's 9, that's 10, that's 11. And that's 7. So what I was saying, sorry, was yeah, I'm doing a subathon this coming Saturday starting at 3:30 p.m. And I hope you can come hang out for that. I'm going to try to get to 90 subscribers. And there are various things that are going to happen as I do that, like a spotlight on some Joshi wrestling matches that I really like, where I'll do some commentary and we'll talk about that. A tour in Fallout 4 of the many dumb mods that I have got going on there. That should be a good silly time. You can come check that out. Various things and things. It'll be a fun evening for people to come enjoy. Some singing. I did some practicing today of some of the songs that I will be doing if we hit that tier. So that was good. I was happy to do that. All right, so that was 7. I think this is 11 here. This is a really small sticker. Okay. So yeah, I hope people will come check that out. I've got some kits to build and some games to play. And then like I did yesterday also, along with other things that I was working on, I did indeed. You'll probably miss some of it because your subathon is on your birthday. Lord Crash, happy birthday in 6 days. That's great to hear. But yeah, if you can come by for some of it, I'd love that. But if not, I totally understand and it's okay. What was I gonna say? Yeah. I did get some old commercials and a demo reel that we have not looked at before. I use those if I have to get up out of my chair, so you have something to watch. And also, I take a dinner break at some point, and then that'll kind of play while I get dinner and we watch. I got some old commercials. A couple of them are Japanese commercials, one of which I know I've never seen before. So I'm excited to share that with all of you. You may have seen it, but I know I haven't. So I'm excited to look at some of that stuff. That's always fun. Last year, or the last time we did this, we looked at that that documentary, the made by the company documentary, like Dev Diaries thing about the Dragon Ball Z game. And I was like, that's just cool. This is just cool and stupid. I was very happy with that. All right, we'll panel line this head and put it on once we're done with the pause for the cause. And there are more stickers to do, because this thing's got a lot of green stickers on it. Looks like a lot of the green stickers on this kit are for this one. Maybe I shouldn't have picked this one, but whatever. I picked the one that has the most stickers. All right, so now is the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you for a little bit about ways that you can support what I do here, all of which are optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things, but if you would like to support me financially, it would be great, and I would love that. But again, you don't have to, but you could. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue emote into the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. So if you have the ability to help me out, that would be great. Also, hey, Dirty, gift subs are on sale right now. So if you wanted to gift a sub today in my channel, you could gift 5 or more. You would save some money. So if you want to do that, you could. 35% off 5 or more gifted subs, and that's through tomorrow. That's just up there. So if you wanted to get a head start, because eventually I'm going to try to get to 90 subscribers on next Friday. So if you wanted to give some subs to get this thing going, you could, but don't worry about it. Also, bits and coins always appreciated. If you want to do that, join the cheerleader board. There are other ways to support what I do here financially, and I'm going to go through those right now. It's just, hey, being on Twitch, that's the easiest thing in the world. If you have Patreon and you want to support me through that, you can go to patreon.com/PatBear and join the $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. If you wanted to, you could. It would be great. I would like that. So consider jumping in on the old Patreon. Let's see. I have a YouTube channel. You know that. YouTube.com/PatBear. I post videos all the time. On my YouTube channel, you can, of course, subscribe for free, and please do. You could also become a member. And for just $2 a month, you could join me on Patreon. There is a member on my YouTube. You get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday, so you get them a day early. Just a nice little thing if you want to do that. It's a cheap way to support me. You're already on YouTube. I'm sure Google has your payment information for something at some point. Those are monthly ways to support me. If you just want to throw something in the tip jar, I have a PayPal and a Ko-Fi, and you can make a direct donation that way. And everything I make through PayPal and Ko-Fi, the donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And from that fund, I pull money out to buy model kits and equipment. Most recently, I was able to buy a better HDMI to USB breakout box, so that my overhead camera it looks better. And I think it really does. I don't have to mess with it as much to try to make it look good. I'm very pleased with it. And I could use it for other things if I wanted. I could hot swap other things into the HDMI port on there instead of it just being an HDMI cable that goes to my computer. So if I wanted to, I could, capture other devices. I don't know if I'm going to, but I could. Like my iPad. I could capture my iPad if I want to do that and do some iPad gaming. Let's see. Now, I have a backlog of stuff that I'm excited to build. Some one premium Bandai kit, some brick kits, a Lego that I bought last year, so I haven't built yet. But here's the thing. Instead of building any of that, I started working on this kit, which we're going to finish up either today or on Monday. And I started working on that because it was bought off my Amazon wish list, and it jumped the queue and became the next thing I worked on. If you would like to do something like that, you could do that. You can go to my Amazon wish list and buy something for me to build. I've got model kits and Lego sets, inexpensive things, expensive things. I try to put new stuff up there all the time. I keep mentioning that there's the Blokies Transformers because I would like to build those at some point because they do interest me. I do have an interest in how those are going to turn out. So I would like to work on those at some point. So I have two examples, the cheaper and the more expensive versions. I'd like to build either of those. But yeah, I got a bunch of things on there. So if you see something there you'd like to see me put together, you can always buy it. And then it'll come to me in the mail and I'll build it on stream. That's all there is to it. My alternative to Amazon is I have a wish list on Throne because it is nice to have alternatives. So take a look at the Throne wish list. And then if you want to support me financially the most convoluted way possible, go to USA Gundam Store. USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will send you an email with the gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper on Twitch or a private message on Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card. So like that is a way to do it if you wanted to. You don't have to, but you could do it that way if that's how you'd like to support me. People have done it, which is really nice of them. I have a Discord, and I would love for you to join me in the Discord if you'd like to support me, but you don't want to spend any money. That's a way to support me for free. Join my Discord. It's cool. People post stuff they're working on in the building photos channel, and I love to see what people are working on. A lot of times I just give the thumbs up or like the fire emoji because I'm like, oh yeah, you're working on your little guys. Hell yeah. It just makes me happy to see. Especially, hey, if you are somebody that likes working on kits while I'm working on kits, I'd love to see what you're working on. That makes me very happy that some people do that. Put it out there. Let's see. A couple video links for you to check out. I will have a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club posted on Monday. The most recent episode is me talking about all of the isekai that is out this season. There's a lot of fucking isekai out there. We'll talk about one of them tonight, later. But yeah, there's a lot of isekai out there, and so I talk about that. So you can watch that video if you'd like. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. All throughout January, I talked about some of my favorite shows from the fall 2025 season. And in the month of February, I'll be talking about romantic romance anime that I really like. Often romantic comedies, occasionally drama in there. So I talked about one that's both. It is both one of my favorite shows from last season and also a romantic comedy that's really good called Yano-kun's Ordinary Days. Yano is a good boy and he deserves the world. And he's just fucking trying his best. He's really just a real sweet boy and he's just trying to do stuff and make things happen. He's such a good boy that doesn't expect a lot from other people, that he has a friend circle now, and he's got somebody that's interested in him romantically, and he just has no idea what to do with that information. And it's really great and fun. I really like it a lot. It's the coolest eye patch character in anime of 2025. Best eye patch. Yano rules. You should watch the show. It's adorable. It's slowish burn, but it's not a full slow burn. So stuff happens. Let's see. All right. So I have some anime to chat with you about. I need to drink some water. I'm in need of it. I gotta do that. I gotta increase my water intake right now. So I'm gonna do that. And dramatic music's gonna play, and it's gonna transition to the overhead camera again. And then we'll do some panel lining, and we'll add more stickers. Why did I pick this one? This is the one with all the stickers. Why did I do this to myself? Why did I do this to myself? Anyway, we're going to do all that right now. For fans of the dance button, just a reminder that on Monday stream, there will be a new dance button song because it'll be a new month. It'll be February. Can you fucking believe it? January, what a year. But it's over. We're going to be in February town real soon. So if you're looking for some Febs stuff, there'll be a new song on Monday. So just letting you all know that. Something to look forward to. A new song. I got to remember to do it. Every once in a while I forget, but I'm usually pretty good about doing it. I might even do it tonight just to make sure I do it, but after the stream. But you know, I can always do it during the stream, but I don't want to. All right, let's get this open here. Get this together. Lord Crashton wants me to hit the dance button. Thank you for using your channel points so I can hit that dance button, and I'll clean this up, the panel lining I've done here, while I hit the dance button. Let me just get it done, and then I can clean up. Thank you for using your channel points for this. Oh, yeah. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Boo-doo-boo-boo-doo-boop. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Thank you for using your channel points as we get ready to retire that song. And there'll be another song that will also be kind of funky, because it's kind of what I'm going for. All right. So that goes in there. And now I got to build... I'll build all this, then I'll put the stickers on. We'll do that. We'll build both of these side missile launchers, and then I'll put the stuff on there. So we'll do that. So we'll do E1 and then E2 as well. And then we'll add all the stickers in. Let's talk about some anime. I did watch some anime, as is my want and is my desire. Easygoing Territory Defense by the Optimistic Lord. The end of the third episode, there were a bunch of armored lizards showed up, and these are monsters. Now, Van, at some point, is going to start negotiating with more people and doing all that. Van could not do the negotiation thing this time around. They had to rally to fight these monsters and make that shit happen. There are 40 of them, and it's going to be hard to take them down, except a thing to remember is they made fucking siege weapons. They had like ballista stuff. So turns out using metal bolts out of those things just like impales lizard men. So through their thick armor, it actually turned out to be not that big a deal for that. They did run out of metal. Oh, but don't worry. The wooden bolts also did a pretty good job of getting through it. So turns out that worked out pretty okay. So they just really relied on that, and the walls protected the people, and it was a rousing success, and everyone's pretty fucking stoked about that. So it turns out lizard men have a lot of materials. They have meat, and they have a lot of they're carrying hides and stuff. And so it turns out to be a pretty successful venture. Now, if they hadn't been there, that village would have been wiped the fuck out. But Van's making it work. So they have a big feast, and it's very fun. Van made some weapons, and the adventurers are in there are all like, hey, you know what? We would love to buy these weapons that you've made because that would be great. And apparently, but the thing about the weapons is, or not the weapons, the materials is a double-edged sword because Van's trying to operate under the radar. He wants to get this land established before his dad, who banished him, finds out that he's doing well and maybe tries to take credit for anything that he's doing. So he doesn't want to sell to them because it will be a whole thing. So he's just like, we're going to have to try to find some trusted merchants. Luckily, some merchants show up. Bell and Rango, and they're like, lizard meat material. Yeah. We'll buy this stuff. That sounds great. You make weapons? Hell yeah. This is such a, we're so stoked about this. We're very happy to buy this stuff from you. And then Vans is like, do you want to set up a store here? Because that way, the materials that get exported to other adventurers go through the store, and and it can be harder to trace it back to Van, which is like pretty smart. Because that way he can kind of just be like, oh yeah, well, we don't know. Sorry, I have to see how this goes together. This goes like this, and then this goes in like that. Yeah, okay, so that goes in like that, and then this goes on. I have to see how this goes together too. No, that doesn't go like that. Oops. So it goes like this. The other one will be a lot easier to do because I'll have seen how it goes. Did I have the wrong one on here? Is it actually like this? Nope. How do you work? You go there. You would go. No. What am I doing wrong? Oh, I'm just looking the wrong way. You go like that. Then you go like this. Oh, that's weird. Okay. I don't know if that's okay. That is right. Okay. All right. That's something's wrong. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, everybody. I'm like definitely fucking this up. This is this piece that goes on here. This goes on this side. This is the piece that goes on there. And that goes like this. Yeah, all right. That goes like that. That makes perfect sense. Okay. And then this one goes on this side. I had the wrong piece on. And I was like, this is just not going together properly. I was very confused why that didn't look right. And it didn't look right because it was wrong. Which is a good indication. There we go. All right, those two are together. Now they just need all of the fucking stickers that need to go on here. We need stickers 15 on this piece. Wait, yeah. 15 goes on this front here. And 15 and 15 go on there. And then 12 and 13 go on there. That should be pretty easy to do. Some of these will be a little easier than others. I'm wearing a hoodie today, which I don't normally wear when I'm building, but like I said, it's cooler in here because of the weather. So I'm just I decided to wear that. In case you were wondering. Okay. So back to talking about the anime here. In the episode 3, we saw that there were like an older lady, Lady Panamera, who is a clearly like a knight, or she is definitely someone that has fought with swords before. She is traveling with a Root, who is a young lady who seems younger than Van. They were traveling to the village. They arrive at the village. And while they show up, all this construction is happening, but no one's doing any construction. Van is just using his skill, and they are very suspicious of what's going on and shocked by his unbelievable talents. They are very blown away by that. And he's like, and they're from another territory, and he's like, okay. He kind of like picks up, like, you know, he's not the sharpest guy all the time, but he is quick enough to realize, like, oh, okay, So they're here to see about like if he's an enemy or not for the territory. Like, okay, they're judging it. It's like, okay, well, sure, we can talk and see what's up. He's not opposed to having a conversation about that stuff. So he's just like, hey, here's the magic I use. Judge for yourself if I'm an enemy of yours or not. But like here you can see how I do stuff. And apparently Arut's father is trying to arrange a marriage between Van and Arut. And they're like kind of trying to figure it out. So that's why they're there, and they're going to stay a little while. They're going to stay in the village to see how he does and if this is going to be a good partnership. But Van is starting to figure out maybe she's like him and she was also banished. Maybe she was like, hey, marry this up and coming youngster or not, but don't come back. Like, she might be stuck. Because they just said the two of them. They didn't like set advance notice. They didn't go through Van's father. Like, something's fishy about all of this. So we'll see more as we go, like what their deal is. But yeah, solid episode. The fight with the lizard men looked good. It was fun. It is an overpowered main character. We get to see Van with the various things that he has produced do stuff. I don't think we're going to necessarily see it in this season because I think it's farther along in the manga where I'm at. But Arut has a really fun ability that she gets to blossom with the help of Van, and it's cute. They are a cute couple. Also, this is like, there are a couple ladies that have feelings for Van, but this is not a harem show, and that is nice. It is a nice change of pace to not have a harem show. On occasion. All right, we'll panel line this and put it together, and then we can keep working. But that is almost all of the stickers that have to go on this. I might just do the stickers now for the last part here, just to get them done, so that way I don't have to worry about stickers for a little while. Obviously, there are more stickers to put on the other builds, but we'll start with this one first. Frieren. I neglected to mention a thing in the last episode, so I apologize. In the episode, because I didn't notice it at first. It wasn't until people started sending clips that this happened that I really noticed it. I just neglected to notice, so I didn't keep it in my notes, and I did want to mention it. A thing happens in the second episode where Frieren looks up as they are fighting the sword demon, and Frieren looks up and does the fucking meme. You may have seen this meme. This was the fairly popular meme that went around. A girl was having trouble. Someone was having trouble drawing Frieren looking up because they basically didn't have a chin, and so a lot of people were just like doing variations of their art and playing around with it. And it was a nice little wholesome thing that was going around with a lot of artists like chiming in, and they did a bit, and it was great. Harold says something happens like this. That's 98 months. Thank you so much, Harold. Listen to the Bear Cave Lego site. Tier 2 blew him emote in the chat. Let's thank Harold very much for their continued support. Thank you, Harold. 98 months is a whole lot of months, so thank you very much for that. I appreciate you a lot for all your support. But yeah, so they did the meme. The anime did a moment where they did the meme that went around, and that was a nice bit of business. It was cute to see that the meme take shape. I was pleased, and I didn't talk about it last week, so my apologies. But now I get to talk about it. So we need 2 and 3. Which one is 2 and which one is 3? That's 2. That's 3. Okay, so this is 2. 2 goes on this side. 3 goes on the other. I'm just going to do these stickers now. I don't need to do these stickers now, but I'm just doing them just to get through the stickers because I don't want to do it in 5 or 10 minutes and be annoyed. So we're just doing it now. So this episode is a lot of people call this the pre-date episode because we're dealing with we're going to deal with some emotions and such. They're going through the mountains, and the beginning of this episode is them finding an area, a village that is really known for its hot springs, and they're psyched about that because Frieren remembers staying at this hot springs. This place is well known for it. So they all got fucking psyched. Turns out that has not been a hot springs town for a number of years because Frieren has lived a long fucking time. So they're like, ah, shit. Well, there's another hot spring that is like a week away. And a villager's just like, well, like, we're not a town that does that anymore, but there is a hot spring hidden in the mountains. You could go, it's like a private hot spring, and you can go there if you wanted to. And Frieren's like, I don't know about that. But Stark is like psyched about it. Stark wants this to happen. He's amped, so they agree to go. And it's a hard trek, and you can tell that like it took a while for them to do it. They show up near where they think the hot spring is, and there's a Hydra there, and it's got 3 fucking heads. And here's the thing about Hydras. You got to kill all their heads at once. You leave a head, it can regenerate the other heads. So Stark is bait, and then they kill all 3 heads at once. We get to see a little magic. We get a little action. Is it as good as the fighting against the demon in the last episode? No, but it's still strong as hell and cool. And so they kill it, and then they get the hot spring, and it's really just like a foot bath. You can't bathe in it. But Stark is happy because they can all put their feet in together, and they would be separate otherwise. And so this is a joint activity that the 3 of them can do together, and that's cute. Is a cute little Stark thing. Even though he's the one that pushed for it, he thought everyone would like it, and it's nice. And they do have a nice time, but they all agree that it was not worth having to kill a Hydra. It was not worth the effort to get there. It was nice, but maybe not worth it. And that's just the fun little story. And then they move on to, apparently it took like a week, and they get to the fortress city that they were heading towards, the next big step in their trip. And they're going to be there for a while. There are plenty of hot springs there, so Frieren is indulging in hot springs. Stark is doing a bunch of tasks that he needed to do and helping people and just being Stark, just using his inhuman strength to do stuff. And Fern is fucking bored. Fern is just like so goddamn bored. And also, she's a little miffed that like, while they're traveling, Stark is very attentive. They're young adult teens, and they're, they are the same age, and they're both human, and she's mad because he's kind of like neglecting her because he's got a bunch of other stuff going on, and he's not paying attention to her. And so Stark decides that the best way to do that is to get her back is to just like tease her and be like, oh, what, did you want to go on a date? Would you like to go on a date with me? And she's like, yeah, which he is flabbergasted by. And so he asked Frieren for help because that is a woman that he could talk to. And of course, Frieren is not necessarily going to be great at this. But she's just like, here's some places that she might like because based on what I know about her. Because, Frieren has raised Fern for a number of years. She is, a parental figure, even if she's also a mess because of mimics and such. And then he's like, these are things you do. And then also Fern talks to Frieren because she's also nervous about the date with Stark. But then she's kind of like, wait, you actually probably don't know anything because, you're kind of old-fashioned. And the episode ends on the cliffhanger of the date hasn't happened yet. What's going to happen on the date? And, good vibes and fun times. it's cute to see these characters together like this. You know, the shippers are feasting. It's the obvious ship. It's fun. You know, we had more of Himmel in the last episode. We didn't really get much of Himmel on this one, but there's always Himmel in the background because that is Frieren's closest relationship she's ever had. So he's always around somewhere in the anime. I would describe this episode as lovely. That was a lovely episode. Like I said, it wasn't as action packed. We did have the fight with the Hydra, but it wasn't like that was a difficult fight for the gang. It was mostly just in their minds annoying. All right, so we got to do one thing that's fun about this is since we're going to build each of them, all the variants, I'm going to have to take apart some of this, so we get to like go backwards in order to remove the things. So I need E2 6, which is this one here. So we get to see, I'm going to have to pop some pieces out here and there, but that's fine. Because, some of these pieces will be contradictory to what the other ones are. Hopefully these pieces will just come out. There we go, little guns here. Lashmer says, I was going to watch season 2 today, but it turns out there's no dub yet, and I don't want to switch. Yeah, the dub, they'll probably be doing the dub in batches, I imagine, instead of a simuldub. So, also, there were some delays because of all of the bad weather, because Crunchyroll decided to keep the Funimation studio stuff because it's Funimation. They just took the name, but it's still just Funimation this whole time. They're in Texas, so there has been some delays with some anime because they do a lot of recordings in person, which you think they wouldn't do. They do it all remotely now, but nope, they like to have control and keep their voice talent in Dallas, so they have to live in the Dallas area and depend on Funimation, which is one of the reasons why they did it in the first place and why they kept that instead of doing the LA studio. It sucks. It's not great, but yeah. I don't know when the dub is going to come out, but it will be coming out at some point. I can understand not switching. Sometimes, you might want to eventually just to see it. But yeah, then you get to watch it later and enjoy it when it comes out. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? I always love hearing from you about the things you got going on. I think this is the wrong piece. I think I got the wrong piece here. So please let me know what you got going on. Yeah, that's the wrong piece. This is the piece I need. Because it's always nice to hear from y'all. I talked a lot about what I'm up to here. Obviously, moving into this room was the priority for me. Was getting all that stuff together. So I did do a lot of that over the past 2 days. I have completed almost all of the DLC stuff that you can do in Fallout 4's DLC of Nuka World. I have completed almost all of Nuka World stuff. There is a few little odds and ends I haven't done yet. There's the raider spot. I have to go kill the raiders that are there and then take the armor they've got there, the power armor. But I did all the main stuff. I got the power on and all the places cleared and all that. But there's like a few little things here and there that I got to do that I will do. I just haven't done it. And I started Far Harbor. I'm probably not going to finish Far Harbor. I'm just going to do a little bit here and there because I don't love Far Harbor. So I think I'm going to probably not finish that quest, but I at least started it because it's fun to start that thing. Harold says, new season of Shrinking started this week. Pretty good first episode. Nice. Also, I've fallen back into Animal Crossing New Horizons. Hell yeah. Yeah, a few friends have been getting back into that due to the the update and all that. Oh, and you played some ball pit today. Nice. I've been playing some decks in Hearthstone. I have a new standard deck that is a dragon cheat deck because they added some new dragons in the latest expansion, the mini set expansion. That I was like, oh, I could probably build a deck around this, and it's working pretty good. But I'm hoping for like one. I'm hoping for like one more new deck to show off on Friday. So hopefully between now and then there'll be something else. But if I just have to show off what I've got, I think it works. I don't think I've done. I would love to get a successful run with my my Warlock deck. The Ragnar, the not Ragnaros, Rafam, the Rafam deck. I'd love to play that because it's got a fun mechanic to it. So that's definitely on the cards. But I don't have like a lot of new decks to show off. So I will have some stuff to be able to like say like, oh yeah, I've done this. I'm going to panel line this now before I put it on because it'll just be easier. This is for the backpack thing to pop into. Doesn't require much, but a little bit here. Lord Crashton says, I started the Seance of Blake Manor, and that's a pretty rad detective adventure game. I've heard very good things. I reached a fail state in about 10 minutes as I climbed through a window and got kicked out by this manager guy that got mad at me. Yep, that sounds about right for that kind of thing. Yeah, you flew too close to the sun there, Lord Crashington, and you paid for it. Sounds like. None too pleased with your actions. It happens. I don't know if there's any. Yeah, there's no other game stuff. Thank you, everybody that came by on Tuesday. I mentioned that before, but I'll say it again because Tuesday was really fun. Looking at all that weird wrestling stuff. And like I said, I've also been prepping for the stream, my stream this Friday, the big stream, trying to get everything for that together. And I have all the parts. Now I just need to practice some of the karaoke songs. I need to pick the order of the wrestling matches the Joshi stuff that I'm going to show. I have to pick that order. I need to pick the karaoke order as well. I definitely need to do that. That's going to be important. All right, I need 5. Yeah, so I need to pick that stuff. Karaoke order. Yeah, commercials will be fine. But I've tested everything. You know what? Actually, some of the Joshi I haven't tested. It works in Media Player Classic, but I don't know if it works in VLC. So I gotta play all that in there. But when I'm like figuring out the order, I can also make sure everything's working. It should all work. I've rarely had an issue where a video that works in Media Player Classic doesn't work in VLC. I'm sure that it will happen at some point, but right now it hasn't happened. So I use VLC for streams where I have a lot of videos. Instead of opening each individual video, I just do VLC because it opens it. I have the stuff on one monitor and then it plays full screen on another, and it just works out really well. And I'm still looking for more weird Fallout mods. I have a ton of Fallout mods to show off, but I'm trying to look for a few other ones. I need to get my list of all the mods that I'm using so that I can reference them and not like if there's anything, because like there's so many that I might legitimately forget about some of them. All right, so this is gonna pop in on the back here like this, and then it can pop up like that, which is very silly. Oh yeah, this part comes off. Oops. And then it attaches the head like this, which is very silly in a way that I really like. This is a nonsense thing that I really enjoy. All right, we'll at least get one variation of this done, the Phantom one. We just have to build the shield and the attachments on the shield. Oh, there's one more sticker. God damn it. I knew it wouldn't be this simple. The shield has one sticker on it. Of course it does. I couldn't avoid one more sticker. But yeah, if anybody else has been up to anything, let me know. I always love hearing from you about that stuff. Monday, we will do the variations of this. We'll wrap this up. I'll have a poll tomorrow for my $10 patrons at the first poll of February to figure out what I work on next. And we'll get, at some point in that stream, we'll start it. But we'll get through all the variations of these. John's here saying, not really new on my end, but enjoyed the Gnosha episode today. Yeah, I have not watched any of the second half of it because I didn't know it was a 2-core when I had watched it. So I have not gotten caught up on that show. But I will, because I thought that the first half, which I thought was the finale, ended on a weird note. So I would like to see more of it. But I'm probably not going to watch it weekly. I'm probably going to watch like a bunch of them, and I'll just marathon through it again. Which I think might be the way... Well, I mean, it's at least the way I watched the first of it, so we'll see. All right, we'll put this here. We'll put this there. And then this has F6 goes here, which is hopefully, these pieces here, like everything is coming together pretty well on this. And hopefully this won't be too hard for me to pop this out. Marathon is probably a good way to go through it. Yeah, in my mind, John, it just allows you to like I was like, there would be characters that hadn't shown up a bunch of episodes, and I think I would have been like, wait, who's that? And I would have had to like look it up and all that. So I didn't have to do that this time around, when I watched it the first time, which was nice. I remembered who they were. Kind of want to check out the 5 High Guard tomorrow. Oh, that's right. They do have they are putting out a limited 5v5 mode in High Guard, which maybe people will gel with better than they have with other things in High Guard. So, yeah. I started watching Schitt's Creek in the wake of Catherine O'Hara's death, says Lord Crashton, and it's a really good show. Also love Eugene and Dan Levy's performances and a nice grungy Chris Elliott. Yeah, you know what? Schitt's Creek is really fun. It grew on me. I didn't love it right off the jump, but I came into it a little late and I'd heard very good things about it. So I was just like, I'm gonna stick with this, and I'm glad I did because I really enjoyed it. John says, we watched Best in Show at my house last week. Such a good performance. I mean, Best in Show it's hard to pick between Best in Show and Mighty Wind, because I have Mighty Wind is so good, and also I know a lot of people that are just the Mighty Wind cast. You know what I mean? Like, I just know, just from New York nonsense and weirdness, and also upstate New York hippiness. Like, I met a lot of Mighty Wind kind of people, and also just in production and that stuff. Like, I just had encounters with a lot of those kind of folks. So for me, it's one of those things where I'm just like, oh yeah, this just rings true. Okay, so this is sticker 16. Best in Show is phenomenal, though. For real. Really loved... Yes, I watched Mighty Wind. Yeah, so many great people. Those two are just unbelievable. Also, I do know a lot of people that were in... My second cousin, who was my mom's cousin, he raised dogs for breeding purposes. He didn't do show dogs, but they were dogs to then eventually breed and go in that route. So I definitely had a lot of interactions with people through him in that world. I definitely did have some experience with that. All right, and this is going to be the end of this first build, which is the Shadow Phantom. And then we'll do one of the other ones after this. But let's just finish the Shadow Phantom right here by panel lining the weapon and then putting the weapon on. And then we'll move on to, we'll take a photo of it and then we'll start disassembling. We have to work backwards. That's right. I got to put this back on here because we have to go back through the parts that we did and remove those parts to disassemble it so that we can build it a different way. I know a couple that takes their dogs to shows, and they will sometimes joke, don't look at the other losers like they do in the show. Yes. Yeah, the dog show people I knew loved that movie. Some of the people I know who are in the world of like folk and stuff didn't love A Mighty Wind, but the tech people I know, like the production people I know that deal with that kind of stuff, loved Mighty Wind. Went over real good with them. As did Waiting for Guffman. Waiting for Guffman is just like so accurate that it's like unbelievable. It's so spot on for a lot of people to like really latched onto it. But yeah, she was a phenomenal actress in so many great things. I didn't see her in The Last of Us. I know she was in The Last of Us TV show. I didn't see her in that because I don't want to watch that show. I'm not interested. But I know she was in that. As I said, she was in that one episode of the a little cameo in the with other fellow Canadians. She was in that one episode of the Amazon Prime season of Kids in the Hall, and that's really fun. The one guy that kept calling the set directions furniture. Yes, God. Indeed. Ugh. All right, we're almost done with the Shadow Phantom. Oops, I dropped my little eraser thing. I'm not sold on this thing. There are more that I can swap these in when these nubbins go down. These nubbins are replaceable here, and it came with a bunch of them. I think I do like it for certain aspects instead of the eraser, because it does get into places that you would use a Q-tip for otherwise. I don't know. I'm not fully sold on this. It was cheap. I don't know about getting replacement nubbins from that. I have to look at a specialty stores and stuff. So I definitely don't hate it. I just don't know if it made sense to get. I don't know. I do like not having to use the big bulky eraser all the time. And this thing does take stuff off without it giving you a lot of polymer eraser all over the place. So that is nice. I think it mostly works fine. But yeah, I don't know if it's a good replacement for the polymer. I think they both do a good job for other things. Sometimes if you're doing, especially if you're doing like a master grade, it's just nice to hit it with the eraser. All right, so this is this kit. This kit is done. This version is done. So we can take a photo of that. And do this without showing you the passcode, because can't do that again. Got to be real careful about that. I don't want to have to change my passcode again. All right, so I'm going to take a photo of this here. Great. We have done one variation, and now I have to take all this off. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take these off. These are all the parts that were just for this version. So I can just take that off, and then, oops, that's not supposed to come off. That's supposed to stay. I think every version has this. So this comes off here. And, oops. Oh, this does not want to come off easy. That's annoying. It's good that that piece doesn't want to let go, but it was annoying to get that off. And then we got to take these off. All right, and that's all the, oh, then these things too. Forgot. This is now all the parts that make this that. So if I want to keep it like that, I could just put those all back on. So we'll put these all off to the side. I'm just going to put it off to the side because some of these I might need to use again for the next thing. And now we have to pick which one we'll do next. And I think we'll do we'll do this one, which I can't remember the name of. So I'm going to look for the Eliminator. We'll work on the Eliminator. But we won't do the head because I don't want to do... There's not much time left in the stream tonight. I don't want to do the head here. So we're just going to work on the other stuff. I'll know that because it won't have a head. But this doesn't have a lot of stickers, but it does have 3 stickers, and I just don't want to do them right now. Executive decision to wait till later. That's going to be Monday Pat's problem. And Monday Pat will be able to nail that and have no problem and just be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Hell, I might do both heads at the start of next week's stream, so just to get them both done, like that, or Monday stream. That maybe I'll be ambitious. If anybody remembers that on Monday, they can tell me, like, you said you thought you would do that, and I'll go, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Just do both of them. Who cares? I'm gonna have to do both of them anyway, so I might as well and get the heavy stickers done. But yeah, we'll do the weapon one. I don't think I'm gonna keep that as the Phantom. I might go with the Eliminator because I kind of like the vibes of the support, the heavy weapon support. I think that is neat, so I kind of like that, so I might go with that. But also, I do like the basic one with like the rocket launcher arm and the gun. And this version of the backpack I like. So I do like the Intruder. I think I like the Eliminator best. I think of these 3, I like the Eliminator because it's got cool big weapons. I do like that. I don't know. We could also do a mix and match if we wanted to. We could do a mix and match, and we could just play around with the stuff. All right, I need E132. We are going to wrap up in a couple minutes, but we'll get a little bit done here and then come back on Monday and do more. My stream on Tuesday, I'll just say my stream on Tuesday originally was going to be what I did last Tuesday, but I called that audible because of the release of that, or the archive of that cool, weird WCW stuff. So I wanted to show that off because it had just come out, or had just been like uploaded and cracked finally. So this coming Tuesday, I'm gonna load up Leave It Alone. There are a couple achievements I have left, and I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna do the one that I can definitely do, but will like theoretically there are 2 you could do at once, but it'd be very hard. There is doing it in under 40 minutes, which I feel like I need a warm up. I can't just do that just willy nilly. And then there is do it without using any of the vents. And that will take longer than 40 minutes, but I think I can do that one. Just do that one. So I think that's the one we're going to try. There's also the distance one, and I got to look a strat up for that. So I might try to find a strategy of that. I could do that one and the no vent one, definitely, while I'm in there. Because I think it's just angling the shot right. I have to see if there's any other ones. Let me, you know what, real quick. Let's just real quick here before we wrap things up. Let's see if I can find the achievements. Now, I don't want to open the game. I want to go to it in my library. Leave It Alone. Locked achievement. 5 achievements here. Let's see. Complete all objectives in the game. So I haven't done that because I haven't done Trash Get Ball, and that's an objective in the game. So if I do the objectives, then I get Perfectionist. So I have to do Trash Get Ball, which is dump a leaf bag while being at least 15 meters away from the trash bin. So I might have to look up some stuff, but I can do that together. Earn an immense number of Scaleves, which is $700. I'm close to earning $700. So that one I can probably do while I'm doing it. Complete the game in under 40 minutes. Complete the game without repairing any leaf inlets. So I think while I'm trying to get Craftsman, I can get Trash Get Ball, which will give me Perfectionist. And then Need for Sweep is complete the game in under 40 minutes. Work smart, not hard. I might need a little help in, but I can do 2 of those. So we're going to try to get some achievements here. And we'll see. But I have some of the ones that not everybody's had. So I don't know. I have achievements left. I don't know why I want to do this. Honestly, I just like this game, and there's no real good reason for me to go back to it. So I've invented a reason, which is achievement hunting. I think I can do a couple of them just as is. But yeah, I liked Leave It Alone. I thought it was a fun little game. So we'll see if we can do a couple tasks there. We'll do the no inlet run. And then we'll try to amass a bunch of money as well. We'll save some money by not buying any of the inlets, so that'll be good. All right. Okay, so we'll continue working on this one on the next stream. We'll finish this up and then we'll build the other one. And I'm just gonna I gotta remember the name Shadow Phantom so I can put that in there. Okay, I think that's gonna do it for tonight's stream. I want to thank everybody so much for joining me here tonight. I hope you had a good time. I had a good time on a Saturday. We are gonna raid because that is how we end every stream around here. We're gonna go find someone doing cool stuff and go spend some time with them. I brought my keyboard down before I'd switch to this screen, so my apologies. I think it's fine. As John says, we always end with a raid. So yeah, we're gonna go hang out with some people and see what they're up to. Reminder, my next stream is on Monday, where I will finish up the 2 variations of this kit that we haven't done yet, and then do some other stuff. Does that keyboard have a 9-key pad on it? It does. We'll pop back over here. It's dirty. This keyboard is dirty. I cleaned it up. But yes, it does. It is a full keyboard. It is a very cheap clicker. It's got red keys. Oh, good. I couldn't tell if it's compact or not. Yeah, it's not. I'm not using a compact keyboard. I am using a full-size keyboard. All right, let me see who we're rating tonight. I don't know how much longer Sebmal is going to go. I mean, we're not going to rate. He's probably almost done. I keep rating people and they're almost done. So that's why we're going to go to Giant Bomb Forever, because Giant Bomb Forever is never done. So that'll be a good place to go raid. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Let's go over with them. Come back on Monday, see what I'm up to. Thank you, John. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate you very much. If you want to gift a sub while I'm off stream, that promotion is still running for another bunch of hours, so you could do that if you wanted to. I had to use up some hours in there. Oh, God. This is a Bioforge. Excellent. We're going to go bioforging. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.